and made my daughter's 4th birthday about me again, in order to, say that I'm authentic and real and this is what happens in real life.
Yeah, it's absolutely bizarre.
Meghan Markle is the flea in the ointment who continues to ruin the increasingly rancid relationship.
Meghan Markle's the one who brings it up. She just really wants, she wasn't asked about it. She just wants the world to know, in case anyone missed that video.
At 43 years old, Meghan Markle should be living her dream life, a loving mother of 2 young children. A woman who left Hollywood to become a duchess, someone who shows the world what modern royalty looks like. But new reports suggest there's a shocking secret that could destroy her carefully built image. Because according to several sources connected to the Giuliano family, Meghan might not just be a wife and mother, she might already be a grandmother.
And the down-to-earth people she grew up with, her half-brother Thomas Markle Jr. and half-sister Samantha. Meanwhile, the Duchess adopts her practiced actress smile, puts on a dazzling display of unbridled joy.
Think about that for a moment. The woman who posts carefully chosen birthday photos of Archie and Lilibet, who tells people that becoming a mother later in life changed everything for her, might have a 30-year-old child out there who already has a baby of their own. If this is true, Meghan's perfect story doesn't just have problems, it completely falls apart. The question isn't how does this fit her story, the question is how has this been hidden for 30 years? And that's where things get really troubling. The story doesn't start with today's rumors. It starts with a missing year, 1994 to 1995, that Meghan once called a gap year filled with travel and discovery. But royal expert Ingrid Seward, who has edited Majesty magazine for years, has said clearly that there are no records of that travel, no study abroad programs, no classmates who remember her being overseas, no photos of her backpacking through Europe or studying in Spain. Nothing, just silence. And according to insiders connected to the Giuliano family, that silence lines up perfectly with something Meghan has never talked about.
Objects won't have it either. Who says so? Veteran editor of Majesty magazine, Ingrid Seward, who has been closer to the...
A secret Las Vegas marriage to Joe Giuliano, a teenage relationship that her half-siblings, Thomas and Samantha Markle, supposedly saw happen. Sources say Meghan walked into a small chapel just off the Vegas Strip, smiled like she was already practicing for a bigger role, and left with a wedding certificate that would be canceled only months later. The cancellation was sealed, locked away in Clark County files like someone wanted the story to disappear forever. Why seal away a teenage mistake unless there was something worth hiding? That's where the rumors get more serious. Because what insiders suggest happened next is even more shocking. The missing year, the sealed marriage cancellation, and the sudden silence all match up with rumors of a pregnancy. Reports claim that Meghan's gap year wasn't spent finding herself in Europe, but hiding a child whose existence has never been admitted. If these rumors are true, that child would now be an adult close to 30, and according to sources, that same adult may have recently become a parent, which would mean Meghan Markle, who presents herself as someone who had children later in life with Archie and Lilibet, is actually already a grandmother. And here's the painful irony. Meghan has built her entire brand around being real, reminding people that she is honest, relatable, and genuine. But if the rumors are true, then the most important part of her life, the one that explains the missing year, the sealed marriage cancellation, and the silence, has been deliberately hidden.
There is so much to unpack about what she just said. A really great reminder about, how real their life is. She needs to stop banging on about how authentic she is. She just seems to me to be so desperate to be trying to cling on to this brand that she's real.
What happens when the Duchess, who claims to be like Diana in telling the truth, is accused of hiding an entire family? Sources close to the Giuliano family say this isn't just gossip. They claim they remember the wedding, they remember the secrecy, and they remember the sudden disappearance that followed. The story goes that Meghan's teenage marriage to Joe Giuliano wasn't just a young person's mistake, it had immediate consequences. And this is where the silence of 1994 becomes damaging. On paper, Meghan graduated from Immaculate Heart High School, then took her gap year before starting at Northwestern University in fall 1995. But insiders say the gap year wasn't filled with passport stamps. Instead, it was supposedly filled with doctor appointments, secret arrangements, and a desperate effort to cover up a pregnancy before it could ruin her future. If true, that would mean Meghan's story about becoming a mother later in life with Harry wasn't the beginning of her motherhood journey. It was the second part of a story she has never told the public. Critics point out that Meghan's pattern of secrecy and control fits this supposed missing chapter perfectly. Think about how she has handled Archie and Lilibet. Every photo, Every appearance, every carefully planned birthday picture is released when she wants it to be. No surprise paparazzi shots, no unplanned moments, everything filtered through careful image management. Royal biographer Tom Bower has called her a master at controlling her image. And if that's true, then burying a teenage marriage and child would be the ultimate act of image control. Sealing court records in Clark County, staying quiet when asked about her gap year, rebuilding her story from scratch at Northwestern as if 1994 had never happened.
Generally with protecting the identities of the children, I feel, but you can't have, on one hand, say I want privacy, on the other hand, put out a deeply personal video. I mean, I'm not surprised in the fact that in a way that she didn't produce a video of her actually giving birth. And that's probably the next step.
Is that the next one?
Maybe that is the next
Right.
step.
It would explain the desperate need to hold on to being real now, because being real as a brand is only valuable when people believe there's no lying hiding underneath. And then there's the embarrassment factor for Prince Harry. Already mocked as the spare, Harry gave up his country, his titles, and his family's protection to defend Meghan's story. But if rumors of a hidden family are true, he may be the last person to know. Imagine how it looks. The prince who criticized the palace for secrecy, married to a woman accused of living an even deeper secret. According to reports, even Harry's friends in Britain are quietly wondering how much he actually knows about Meghan's past. If his wife truly had a sealed marriage cancellation, a hidden child, and now rumors of being a grandmother, then Harry hasn't just lost his place in the royal family, he's lost his credibility as a man who claimed to value honesty above all else. And in Hollywood, where image is everything, that kind of embarrassment doesn't just hurt, it stays with you. Reports suggest the Giuliano family stayed quiet for decades, never speaking publicly about their supposed connection to Meghan's missing year. But insiders now say that silence is starting to break. The rumors point to something more than a sealed marriage cancellation. They suggest that Meghan gave birth in late 1994 or early 1995, and that the child was quietly raised somewhere else to protect her future goals. Sources claim that Joe Giuliano himself felt pushed aside, left out of the story after the marriage cancellation was finalized, with Meghan supposedly cutting all ties to prevent the secret from coming back. That deliberate erasure raises the biggest question yet. Was this truly a young person's mistake? Or was it the deliberate burial of a family line that didn't fit with Meghan's carefully built brand of reinvention? Because if the rumors are true, Meghan didn't just hide a teenage relationship, she hid an entire generation of family. Critics argue this would explain why Meghan has been so determined to build herself into a modern Diana. Diana's strength came from being real. She admitted her struggles, her pain, and her affairs. She connected with the public by being open even when the truth was messy. Meghan, on the other hand, has copied Diana's poses, recreated her outfits, and presented herself as the victim of an institution. But if the foundation of Meghan's life story rests on a hidden daughter and rumors of already being a grandmother, then the Diana comparison completely fails. Instead of being real, Meghan is accused of relying on secrecy. Instead of being open, she is charged with following a script. And that, critics say, is why her brand of realness feels fake to so many who once admired her. The problems go beyond image. In a time when every move is documented, sealed marriage cancellation records in Nevada are very unusual. According to reports, most cancellations, even teenage ones, stay public. Meghan's, however, was immediately locked, with officials refusing to confirm or deny the file exists. That silence has only increased speculation. Why go to such extreme lengths for something as common as a teenage mistake? Why erase a name, a wedding, and possibly a child from her past, unless the consequences would be terrible? Some insiders claim that the rumors of a hidden daughter, now in her 30s and now a mother herself, explain everything. It explains the missing year, it explains the sealed records, and it explains why Meghan has held so tightly to her carefully created image as someone who had children later in life, because the truth of being a grandmother at 43 would destroy the very foundation of her carefully planned story. And if that foundation collapses, everything else falls with it. Insiders reveal the cruelest twist may not be about Meghan at all, but about Harry. For years, Meghan positioned herself as his protector. The woman who pulled him out of an oppressive palace system, the partner who helped him escape a life of secrecy. But if rumors of a hidden marriage and secret child are true, then Harry wasn't rescued from secrecy, he walked straight into it. According to multiple reports, friends of the prince in Britain believe he may have been caught off guard, that the most explosive details of Meghan's past were never shared even with him. Imagine the embarrassment. The man who accused his family of hiding truths from the world married to a woman accused of hiding the ultimate truth from him. For Harry, who already struggles with believability after the Netflix problems and the Spotify disaster, this would be the final insult. He wouldn't just look foolish, he'd look like the last to know. Critics argue Meghan has already been testing how much the public will put up with, from her privacy requests, followed by high-profile photo opportunities, to her claim of being real while releasing carefully staged family content. The contradictions are endless, but the grandmother rumors take those contradictions to another level. The same woman who proudly positions herself as someone who had children later in her 40s would, if these claims are true, be hiding the fact that she first became a mother at 18. The same Duchess who tells audiences her children define her brand would, if insiders are right, be erasing her firstborn from the story entirely. And that level of contradiction doesn't just create gossip, it creates doubt. Doubt that reaches beyond Meghan herself, touching Hollywood's power circles, streaming executives, and even political allies who once saw her as an unstoppable brand. Once doubt creeps in, support disappears. And here is where the rumors cut deepest. Reports suggest that Meghan's supposed hidden child recently gave birth, meaning the Duchess is already a grandmother at 43. If true, this revelation would unravel everything: her Netflix scenes about motherhood, her speeches about being real, her Diana copying, even her charity projects centered on parenting and children. It would all be stained by the perception of dishonesty. Insiders say this could trigger an industry-wide collapse of her brand. Spotify has already called her a grifter. Netflix is cooling off, Hollywood elites keep their distance. And if Meghan's motherhood image is exposed as a fake story layered over decades of secrecy, then the Duchess who once commanded global headlines could find herself reduced to a footnote in royal history, a warning story of what happens when branding crashes into buried truths. The stage is set for devastation, not just to Meghan's story, but to Harry's reputation, their finances, and the empire they've tried to build in Montecito. The fallout from these rumors doesn't stop with Meghan. If the rumors prove true, the effects spread across the monarchy, Hollywood, and even Meghan's own children. For the royals, it proves every criticism they've quietly held back, that Meghan's image is less about truth and more about performance. For Hollywood, it raises uncomfortable questions about believability. Streaming executives who built multi-million-dollar projects around Meghan as the real modern mother would suddenly find themselves attached to a story exposed as false. And for Harry, it would be nothing short of catastrophic. Friends say he has already endured public mockery for being overshadowed by Meghan. If he was left in the dark about her most explosive secret, he risks becoming the global symbol of being naive, a prince who gave up everything only to be deceived at home. Reports suggest even Meghan's own brand machinery is vulnerable here. Every carefully posed photo of Archie and Lilibet, every candid video released on her terms, would be reinterpreted as props in a performance. Critics already accuse her of using her children strategically, but add a hidden daughter and rumors of being a grandmother, and those criticisms harden into something more damaging. The idea that Meghan's family moments are less about love and more about control. This is why commentators insist her Diana fantasy is unsustainable. Diana never hid her truth. Meghan, if these rumors are true, may have built her empire on hiding everything that mattered most. And perhaps the most devastating layer is this: being real has been Meghan's shield. She has repeated it, emphasized it, sold it to the world. I'm real, I'm relatable, I'm authentic. But being real is like glass. Once it cracks, it shatters completely. If Meghan truly concealed a teenage marriage, a sealed cancellation, a hidden daughter, and is already a grandmother at 43, then the shield of being real doesn't just crack, it explodes. That leaves Meghan exposed, vulnerable, and unable to control the story she spent years writing. And for Harry, who built his exit from the monarchy on the claim of telling the truth, the embarrassment would be unbearable. Their empire, already strained by financial questions and industry skepticism, could collapse under the weight of these rumors. Because in the end, the question isn't just what Meghan hid, it's whether the world will ever trust her again. So now I'll turn it over to you. Do you believe the rumors that Meghan Markle's missing year hides a secret marriage, a hidden child, and the shocking truth that she may already be a grandmother? Or do you think this is just another rumor swirling around the Sussexes? Drop your theories in the comments below, smash that like button if this story stunned you, and don't forget to subscribe for more insider revelations from Hollywood and the royals. And if you're ready for the next jaw-dropping scandal, click here, because the secrets hiding behind royal walls are just beginning to surface.